tower, you're probably going to lose it anyway.
They're
But you still haven't
beating
claimed
on Dire's top
Roshan.
tower.
They will soon. Dendy's going back to base. He does have his exorcism off cooldown. I expect him to fight pretty shortly. He needs to bottle up Ditya Ra though, so he's
Are
actually in
those
fighting shape.
cracks
Doesn't
in
really have
Dire's
enough mana
top
for it. Even
tower?
2 overpowers at this point, especially with him using the 1 on the Ancients. But they're not really in fighting shape right now. Neither General nor Seneko are level
Dire's
6
bottom
at the
tower
moment.
is being chipped away.
And Artstyle does not have his Necro, so maybe just need a few more minutes. But OG didn't realize what's going on here.
Dire's bottom
That's why
tower
they keep
needs some
checking.
help.
And they DP to the top lane. OG, they can't take Roche for themselves, but they also can't leave the pit.
Dendy could even force this top lane himself. Just exorcism under the tower. There's someone to rotate up. Arstyle's already coming in behind. He's got a
top
roar
tower
available.
deserves
Okay,
just as much help as
Didira.
mine.
Fire Miracle again. Just waiting from the pit. But yeah, Dendy does exactly that. He triggers exorcism. He's
Radiant's
trying to
top
force a
tower
reaction out
has
from
looked
OG.
better.
Pull them away
Radiant
from the pit.
structures have
Away
been
from their
snow
protection of
fortified.
Roshan. First one to come is going to be No-Tell. He's triggered a haste
Radiant's
through,
top
and he's got a double
tower
damage
has
for bolted up. Then he can't run from this one. Instead, he tries Spirit Siphon, the roar onto No-Tell. If they have enough damage, it won't matter if you've got a haste through as well as a double damage route. The Exorcism is still there, and now his Moon is in trouble. The damage from
Double
Dendy is
kill.
not enough for the Spirit Siphon. He does get the kill. A double before his own death. Ansel going to the cover of Moonlight Shadow. Mako could not get there in time, doesn't even have level 6, and Miracle now knows this, hunting him down the river. He's uncertain if he wants to go to the lane or to the river, and Fly still remains next to Roshan.
He's dropped 3 sentry wards, but he hasn't caught that one observer ward that has been looking at him the whole entire time.
Levy around here somewhere.
OG, they're losing out in the economic war just because so many heroes have to stay around that pit. Fly's getting some farm with the stacks in the meantime. And they're making good use of exorcism, but Ditya Ra is not actually close to the pit at all. Maybe trying to get a blink dagger so he can blink in and out at will without the pesky observer wards sensing his presence.
I'm really wondering if this is worth the time to be around here some minute. Like you said, overall, like OG, it doesn't look like they're getting like a really good trade out of this. Meanwhile, Ditya Ra, like, yeah, welcome to your farm, welcome to your blink. General's finding enough money to finally pick up these arcades on the bottom, even if he is taking a lot of damage from No-Tell.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Presence.
I'm really Navi is this is observer wards up his left, can't even just blink in Ursa. Like you said, overall, into the like pit. OG, it
They're
doesn't look like
beating on
they're
Dire's
blink,
top
really
tower.
Elder Titan
Meanwhile,
still
Ditya
checking
Ra
every time with the spirit inside the
welcome to your
pit. They're
farm.
worried about him sneaking in there.
Are those cracks in Dire's
No-Tail
top tower?
trying to pressure this T1 tower with the remainder of his double damage.
I love the fact that Crit can actually check for that, but still be farming up mid lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's a 4-man smoke
Dire's
from
top
Navi.
tower is
They're gonna
gone.
cross the
Just
river.
a cold fog left
The Ursa
behind.
Warrior. Where do you go? They
Dire's
want
bottom
to
tower
move
is under
east.
attack.
They're searching for No-Tell. They know Razor. He'll have to TP out. There'll have to be a TP escape out. The only way he survives through this, and in fact that doesn't even happen. No-Tell is dead. We saw him explode up on top lane. And now that's going to be the 4th death
Dire's
of
middle
No-Tell.
tower is
Elder
under
Titan has
attack.
level 4 stomp though in case they want to delay until the Razor is up. However, Navi
Radiant's bottom
still
tower
keeping
is
their
under
eyes
attack.
away from the Roshan pit.
They left the illusion room behind. So Slark has a very pesky illusion in there on Ditya Ra.
Dendy uses exorcism though, but he's running away, so he's not
Dire's
able
middle
to
tower
really use it,
isn't
and he
going to
won't
last
have it
long.
up for this upcoming team fight.
He might have it for a little bit of damage into Roshan. Fly really caught out. Armstrong on the roar. The stomp into the splitter. Crit! Happy 3. May have lost the SD already. Armstrong dropping very, very low. Miracle wants to finish the job. Thanks to Sentry Wars in the down before they hit the lead. They threw this right through Navi. 4 heroes almost down. Moon controlling Ditya Ra, but Ditya Ra just claps and brings down the revenge kill. 3 for 4 trade-off. The Ursa the only one to survive. And for once, No-Tell is able to survive through a team fight himself.
That was on the Marana. Artstyle roared up the Shadow Demon, and then Marana missed the arrow.
We get to watch it again. So here's the roar.
The arrow just whizzes right past them, which is a big deal because he manages to, per general, he gets hit by the Earth Splitter because of that, and then he has to use False Promise, and then we see Seneko die. Miracle kind of left unchecked throughout the fight, but he will die to Dendy, and Moon just dies to that clap, as you mentioned, after Ditya Ra sticks up.
Someone Someone better help Dire's middle tower.
Scrappy fights, 9-9 apiece. The advantage is going the way of OG and experience by about 2k in the experience and 1k in the goal.
Their structures.
As Obs Ward from Fly instantly sees Didira arrive. Careful of their positioning too. Are they coming in with any kind of...
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
OG have been all about this Roshan though. They have not left this area in the last 5 minutes.
Look at the lines they draw now. This is Moon just scribbling, saying, I want to come down here and kill Artstyle. Artstyle goes for the Raw. It's a level 1 Necrobook, and maybe enough to burn through a crit, and it will be before the stomp can be triggered. Whilst the Neko and Fly battle underneath the tier 1 tower, the Truckman will keep him down. Moon to lasso Artstyle, so they split the fight in 2 different parts. Artstyle will drop next, Miracle's jumping forward. So Neko has to false promise himself, so he'll survive and get back behind the tier 2 tower. What General, he wants to leap over and do something here, because he realized that Miracle was right on top of him. Keen outside the Shadow Blade with that nice quick ball from Denny flying very and dropped down low, but now Denny is in too deep. Miracle can just go ham, they just rough off again. They just go from one to the next to the next. We're playing Duck Hunt right now. And Didira hunting his own tier 1 tower, running to the tier 2. They got the movement speed thanks to Haste Rune on No Talon. The last hit from the Slark will end the killing spree and give Miracle a grand total of 6 kills so far.
OG have done a superb job of pressuring the Oracle. Oracle isn't there to save the death prophet because he's constantly under fire. He has to run back to his T2, getting chased down by the Razor, who doesn't even have that many items up at the moment, forced to blow false promise on subpar targets, and all the meanwhile, OG gaining more and more control of that precious Roshan area, and Ursa still has yet to make another move after that initial venture, taking him down to half HP.
16 minutes in on a dire side Ursa, and Roshan hasn't died yet.
They need a team fight with the Exorcism, I think, but then they had to deal with like the Elder Titan and the Bat Rider. Moon's just been a nuisance in these fights.
Moon's got so much farm too. Like while all this was going on, he was farming up top lane. He's got his drums, tranquils, and a blink dagger on a Bat Rider. He's got the second highest net worth on the field, when not a single person from Na'Vi has more net worth than a Bat Rider. Like, I know we took a lot of stacks beforehand, but this is not the situation you really want to be having when you want to have your Beastmaster staring down the barrel and finishing his level 3 Necrobook, not just nearing his level 2. And a Blink Dagger is just a distant thought. Haven't really felt the influence as well of this Mirana.
No, not at all. A lot of it was due to her stacks being blocked early and not hitting arrows on the big creeps, but she has been underwhelming.
Tower is being chipped away.
OG prepare on the bottom lane, Miracle into the tree line. Like Na'Vi have no design to defend it. Oh, hang on, they're TPing in heroes. And the Insanaker come in. They're rotating over from the side. The Blink, Lasso, already false promise used on Death Prophet very early on. Fly, actually in a little bit of trouble himself, getting disrupted up. That Stomp can create a little bit more space for him. Fly will still end up dropping. And then now the Exos can be involved in the fight, but it's No-Tail who's on the run. Didira can't reach him, having to run through the end of the pipeline, which will now wear off. They do find their second kill. The arrow from General. It hits on crit. A TP scroll is available, but it will be very optimistic to think he can get out of that one. So Na'Vi, a good fight underneath the tier 2 tower. OG had all the time in the world to prep, to set up. And this could finally be Roshan.
All it takes is one fight, and Na'Vi, they lost maybe 2-3 in a row, but...
Oh, Miracle! Miracle! He did that! He killed Didira! The sentry one was too late! Now he gets an Arcane Rune and just walks away! Oh, that's not
so ready for that.
That's not Roshan!
Oh boy!
If Ursa had any sense that the Slark was going to come, he could have popped this in a rage, but he did expect Miracle to already be waiting in there. And that right there, that Na'Vi works so hard to try and get Rose. It's like, okay, we'll keep throwing bodies, we'll win one of these fights eventually.
Radiant's bottom tower.
The funny thing is also, if he waited half a second longer, the Sentry Ward would have connected, and the Oracle probably could have done something about it. Or as you said, the Ursa could have enraged. Well, Roshan on Dire side will remain again unkilled. General and Artstyle preparing for a mid lane fight. They have Raw Reval, Arrow will fly, No-Tail barely misses it. Managed to hug the tree line just hard enough.
maybe regretting not baiting out the Elder Titan at
Dyer's
this
bottom
point.
tower is
Elder
being
Titan,
chipped
like without the
away.
Elder Titan, they couldn't constantly get vision inside the pit without posing significant risk to their heroes. But because of, and they're always able to keep eyes on how it's going. They don't let like a 15-second window go by where no one's inside the pit scouting out unless Ursa's showing on the map.
Which he is at the moment up on the top lane. So that's a lot of farm coming in for Didira. Like both Denny as well as Didira's net worth is fairly good, 7.3k, 7.5k respective. General's still a little bit further behind, but once he finishes up the Aghanim Scepter, even his 4.8k like piddly net worth will still be able to do something during the fights with double Star Storms.
And they already have a 4-step on the Elder Titan. Very useful for saving an arrowed hero, breaking Spirit Siphon Link, or Kite Ursa more importantly. I don't know how they're gonna really have that much damage in these fights without the Mirana X.
Yeah, they just need to give General that space. It's rather difficult though for General just to go like right around the map, just do his roaming and then find a lot of farm because he doesn't have the arcane boost, he doesn't have those never-ending arrows. Miracle. Move around, he's got an Invis rune and it's surrounding Na'Vi. The Firefly, where is that vision to come in from Moon? It's on cooldown for 10 seconds, really cool. They go over to Miracle, Necrobooks into enough. The stop is perfect on Arslan Didira. Dendi going to trigger off the Exorcism with a Fortune, then catching Moon as well. Rosary almost for a split second. They're still taking damage, Central Wars down. Miracle comps a lot of it. The Yule effect with Mind Time sitting to back up, and then he gets hit by the split of Didira as well. Caught on the tail end of it. Gives a double kill to Naruto. They'll make it a triple. No, they won't. Miracle will take the last hit. But Na'Vi, that was not the fight they dreamed of.
He got punished so hard. Man, that Elder Titan ultimate just killed Dendi from, what, 60% all the way to 10?
Where are you going here, General?
Elder Titan's way too over-leveled. He's level 11 with max natural
Unstoppable!
he's dead. Well,
General threw an arrow in case OG were trying to take Roshan. Revealed his position and then they just chased him down because he used his leap to try and escape but didn't get out. So let's see that moment again. So first target initiate on his Miracle, that will fail, and then space is just created by the Stomp.
yeah. And No Tail gets a level 3 static link drain off of Didira, and Dendi just caught out in no man's land. There is still
Didira's choice.
False promise.
Like Didira jumps in, he's at the very, very southern end of the point of the screen. But then again, another stomp from Crit. Perfect spot. Saves No Tail by just one swipe. One swipe was all Didira needed to kill off No Tail.
So Nico has just died too many times to feel comfortable being in the front lines. He had his ultimate available for him. They really needed it on Dendi.
Oh, you really must go for Arstal. He's out of range of the tier 2. Dropped down his own sentry to make sure they couldn't see him.
Very important that Slark Dark Packed the initial roar out the fight, or he would have died to the Ursa.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Notice too, Didira's item build.
Fortified.
Blink Dagger, casual.
Dyer's middle
Slark
tower.
gets Scotty, he can do it very easily.
But at this point, OG don't even need to.
Yeah,
it's like
General gets scouted out by Miracle. Oh,
and he actually finishes the arrow as well. Can't leap yourself out that one. He's trying to TP. But Miracle just a little bit too much damage. But that last Echo Saber double swing in. And that's what got him the kill on General. Alright, so there's a Gem of Truth that also being purchased by Crit. They're going to start de-warding out Na'Vi.
OG are not that far away from putting this out of complete reach for Na'Vi. Their early game just went super poor. They don't have that strong team fight because they can't get Death Prophet, and more importantly, no Aegis. Over and over, they've been trying to cope for that, but OG are relentless.
Rune's on the hunt again. Force stomping forward, gets some vision. The Observer Wolf's actually doing it all for him. And sees Arstal blink Lasso, drag it back over. Necrobooks are available, and Arstal will trigger them straight away. There's Didira. He doesn't know it. He didn't realize it was sitting right next to Miracle. They move back Shadow. Denny will trigger the Exorcism Roar onto No Tail. The arrow connects on Miracle. 5 seconds, not going to be there. He already had the Dark Pack triggered. Nortel forced away, one bottle chance still up his sleeve. They've got the distance, they've got the speed. Nortel is away. And now Na'Vi are around Roshan. Miracle's looking to come back in for another fight. Arstyle's probably low enough. He's got 12 essence already shifted. So he can battle, and he goes for Snaker. False promise, it already has to be used, so he just switches his target over to General, keeping that essence shifted. Miracle
good job invincible of kiting the exorcism. That's a completely wasted exorcism by Na'Vi, and they have way too much ground to cover too in terms of reveal. They cannot keep tabs on this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tier 1 tower is going to be fortified, but it looks like it'll die. One little catapult. Great wave of momentum. No. And that's Na'Vi's first
Radiant's
tower of the game.
Tower has
And now it looks like OG. They are starting up on Roshan.
Na'Vi, do they want to take a fight without Death Prophet? I don't think so. Without Death
Without the exorcism.
They don't have enough team fight.
Maybe they can take a sign even if they do have it up right now. And unless they're fighting underneath their own tier 3 tower, then maybe. OG's just too strong. It's like Nortel is even closing in on. It's actually giving like a lot of ATOS for him. To kite the Earths for even harder. Brent's got Blink 4-star, so dream of a Batrider with the drums as well. Flies with his own 4-star. And Asgardy should be practically done.
Radiant's top tower deserves just as much help as bottom.
Trying to look for opportunities for Na'Vi to get back into this game, but
OG dive. Pause.
Maybe.
Opportunity.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We rarely see Miracle and No-Tail go into deep though.
Damn. There's always a moon.
There's always a moon, but he's...
Oh, Na'Vi. You're running out too fast for this one. They want to kill off Chris. At least they get rid of the other time before this fight begins. But now the rest of OG flying here from the rear. The buyback comes in from the ET. He's keeping the tier 1 tower. He'll be there in just a jiffy. But it's the Razor being ripped apart by Didira. They have enough damage. They don't. They can't kill off Nortel. Fly help him out with the disruption. Now they get through Nortel. Buyback out from Deddy. The big execution is gone. One Miracle looking for another target. Snaker's probably the most obvious one. And Moon? Nope, no one around there TPing out.
Really nice job by Moon. He separated the Death Prophet from the Oracle that fight. And all of OG kind of honed in on the Death Prophet. No exorcism up for her.
Dire's bottom
She did have
tower
to use
needs some
buyback,
help.
or no exorcism used that fight rather.
That's my bad. I thought it was also used during the fight. Miracle.
4-step. He's in their base.
He's between the towers. He's not visible. Shadowblade wears off in half a second, and Arstyle, he's going to have a crack at him. Potentially pounds away, which is exactly what he does do. And Arstyle didn't have Raw. There was no control they could use on Miracle. Even if they did, he's got Nagus the Immortal. Na'Vi's base is, well, not bad, really. OG is welcome to come anytime they please and not pay rent.
I'm curious about this heart build on the Razor. He almost has it completed.
Is a heart? Okay.
I think we've seen Hurricane Bike before on Razors.
Would make
Ursas.
Yeah, it would make sense to get away from the Ursa, even out of range of Exorcism.
Maybe he just wants more initial HP to survive the reverse of Ursa. But I think that's where you rely on your team for, like, Solar Crest, maybe.
Miracle runs in, finds three, Blink finds through, they want Snaker gone, no false promise in this fight. Deddy also leads up, Flame Break keeps him in range. The down is through, fine, but the arrows will find through, but it doesn't hit anything. General it's red to needle with the arrow, hit nothing, and now OG can just go ham. Arstyle's covered up in napalm, and Fly once more with the poison stack on him too is not enough. Arstyle will get back into safety and Fly a little too deep. He's got 11 one chances up his sleeve. Moon and Fly will get out. The 3 heroes lost from Na'Vi. Miracle actually wants it. He's got this Aegis to the Immortal for another minute and a bit.
They weren't even close to overcommitting there.
They did the same thing again.
Those two cores were just...
He forced up Miracle into the small little vision area. Flame Break, Moon does not have lasso. It just keeps General and Arstyle off the lane, which just means an easy kill on tier 3.
Top tower is gone. Just exposed.
Just use the plate Miracle.
Dire might have to say goodbye.
Just pick that one up after the Aegis is gone.
Oh no, that renders 2 of Death Prophet's items fairly useless.
Dire's top barracks have fallen.
And there goes top racks. It is a very, it's a dream, the impossible dream right now for Harvey to win. Over 15k net worth advantage going the way of OG, about 17k on the experience.
And I believe Nox told us that they needed to win at least one game to secure
Miracle?
themselves.
Miracle? Miracle? He just walked in! He just walked into the base to trigger the Shadow Dance. He's like, I got Nagus, I got another minute on this damn thing. Try and kill me if you want to. Boom will drag Amstel out of the base. The Miracle could just keep going ham. He's actually solo killing Didira at the moment. He has to enrage up to protect himself. But then Arstyle, Miracle can just go back in again. Shadow Blade up, where's the sentries? Where's the vision? The other Titan Spirit. He'll find the kill on the Beastmaster, and they'll be playing the game from the only safe place they have, and that is their well.
I really like OG's approach to dealing with the Ursa. Just never in the pit.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last long.
Goodbye,
Dire's
tier
middle tower
3.
just went down.
I'm gonna watch that Aegis Immortal timing. It's getting closer to ending. They drop down the Sentry Ward, so Miracle is now visible. Not where he is now. Jump on that. He's still got 60 minutes. So he'll keep beating him. To then he's feeling more and more thanks to Nature to keep him alive with a false promise. Then he will still pop when that wears off. And this game is over. Miracle is tearing apart Na'Vi. They'll take out the mid-ranks. They can rotate towards the bottom. And there is the call. Na'Vi will admit defeat in game number 1 against OG. They went fully ham. 18-7. The NVIDIA for the slot.
Not really enough in the Navi's toolkit. It seemed like a one-trick pony trying to win one.
Radiant team ban.
So really good with Radiant. So I like Vale a lot this game. I think S4 would probably get it regardless, but whether he rushes it over a blink, that I'm not sure about. You're running right now. Puck is like your only mid-game initiator. Ogre running and stunning is not initiation realistically. So I think if they don't pick another initiator for Loda, like the Centaur I mentioned is kind of an out there possibility, then probably Blink first. But EG going to ban the Weaver here. Interesting ban. It looks like Alliance could tilt very heavily into deathballing with, say, a Juggernaut pick.
Reserve time. Radiant team's turn to pick.
Not as bad as she used to be in the late game. In fact, one of the stronger heroes in the late game. Mirana late game, more of a caster, and against BKBs can kind of struggle if you are going to be playing with that Aghanims into that Shiva's Guard or Ethereal Blade.
So what do we think? Is it core Mirana or support Mirana? I'm leaning towards core.
Yeah, I think so. They have no real setups for it.
I like Shadow Demon for Zai. It's great with the Drow Ranger to have another save.
Also good with Mirana in conjunction to set up arrows, but
yes.
There and that is an available
And
hero.
Shen Shadow Demon is a good dual roam combo.
Mm-hmm.
So Alliance ban the Bane, which is another hero that can set up ganks.
And PPD's Bane is he plays that a fair bit too. I would say
and the Enfeeble is quite annoying for Lone Druid as well. So
I think if people
10
heroes in
seconds remaining.
Earthshaker also comes to mind, Treant, all these heroes, but none of them are going to fit in the lineup, I feel like.
5
So it's more
seconds
likely,
remaining.
like you talked about, a Shadow Demon.
I still think it's a PPD Chen.
We'll see.
Lion.
Last pick, Lion, coming out.
Dire
So
Team's turn to pick.
it gives them a better way to deal with Puck. This is the main reason for the Lion pick, because now, like, Blink Lasso against Puck isn't really that great if the Puck is quick reactions. You can just phase shift and then blink away before you actually get the lasso off.
Right.
Or just blink out, potentially, if he has his own blink
10
dagger.
seconds
But if you
remaining.
get the blink hex, then you can focus him down.
A very strong pick, a very
5
strong
seconds
support
remaining.
duo. Lots of burst damage with Test of Faith, with obviously all of Lion's abilities as well. We'll wait and see how it's going to turn out. And then the last pick, Broodmother, coming out. It's a load of Lone Druid. Who would have thought?
I mean, this just goes to my point. Like, you didn't know what Alliance was doing 4 picks in. Are they going to go for the loaded Juggernaut? You know, the Lone Druid, just 5-man Death Ball? Do they go for a Spectre and try to take it super late? I didn't think it was a great Spectre game. Do they pick, you know, something like a Centaur that's good for, like, the mid-game fighting, gives them a secondary initiator? No, Travis, they don't do any of those things. They go for the double split pushing lineup. They run the Lone Druid for Loda. This is definitely a curveball. I don't think EG saw this coming.
And it's going to be kind of tough. I mean, yes, you have the Bat Rider against the Broodmother, which I think is a better matchup for the Bat in that situation. However, until the Murata is going to come down and throw up some Star Storms, there's no
10
real way to
seconds
deal with all of
remaining.
these Broodlings. Earthspike's not going to be able to do that much either. There's not that much AoE
5
clear
seconds remaining.
from these heroes. It's going to be Firefly, so Alliance get away with a great last pick coming out as well. And with that, we will jump into the game and see who
Prepare
heads
for
where. As
battle.
right now, lots of TPs coming in from Alliance. They'll TP 1 mid, have Ake drop a ward down. They'll TP Bulldog down bottom as well, and put his, of course, webs. And then, well, actually, Zai's nearby to drop a ward himself if need be.
Yeah, the Zion moving in here, bottom, and we'll get an Observer ward down on the high ground near this bottom lane. But looking at EG, no dust to start the game off. They only have the sentries right now in PPD. So it looks like they want Universe to be matched against the Broodmother. I still think this is a very good lane for Brood. You can easily cut the creeps. And when Firefly is down, Bat can't do anything against Brood. So just keep your spider lanes away while he Fireflies. If he doesn't get help, Bat is going to have a rough time, but he can always just carry TP Scroll. If he feels like he's under pressure, just TP out, come back to the lane. So unlikely to die, but it should be free farm for Bulldog. They also
30
have
seconds to
the
battle.
Lich, and so I think Alliance can win a second lane on the back of that pick.
Yeah.
Just secure mid for S4, maybe EGM even helps him, and then you have a Lone Druid heading to the off lane. Lone Druid versus a Drow, which it looks like Fear. I think Fear probably goes mid here. Sumail top. Looks like Sumail's mid, so you have an off-lane Drow. I don't know, EG might lose all 3 lanes. This looks really good for Alliance as far as the laning setup goes.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you look at EG, and they'll
The
probably send
battle's
Zai up to the
starting.
top lane. The Chen, he can't really just stay in lane, so it's not like an aggressive trial lane is going to work out. Obviously, for Alliance, though, they are going to have the Lich, and he'll be mid for the most part, or at least helping that, at least in the early stages of this game. And so, as you've mentioned, their backs against the wall. Alliance go for the choice of getting a really strong laning setup with the Broodmother as well in the last pick, and Ake playing that Lich. And we'll see how things do turn out here. His sacrifice was already used in that mid lane, so this will push out in favor of Alliance and head towards the tower. And Sumail needs to be avoiding that Frost Blast as much as possible. Meanwhile, in the top lane, this is where we're going to see the action. Is Fear, Zai versus Loda, as well as EGM. But bottom lane also, we may see a first blood if we're not careful as well.
So the key hero to keep an eye on is definitely the Chen. Lich is just going to sit in lanes and try to win them passively. Do want to point out, nice play by Bulldog. He blocks this camp. I think they were expecting the Bat to be off lane. So we'll see if Alliance want to make adjustments. But to be honest, I still think Brood versus Bat is a fine matchup.
Denied.
Early on, though, EG doing a good job at harassing Loda's Bear. It did not start with a Stout Shield. So I don't think they're expecting the Drow to be here. They might kill this Bear. This is a
Two more
big
right
blunder
clicks.
if it goes down.
Oh man, 12 HP. Zai, he needed a bit more extra damage to get it done, and unfortunately, it was not going to be his right click to do it, but
He
Fear.
needs a Stout Shield, and Loda's like, yeah,
Yeah,
go
he's
grab
gonna
that
buy it.
right
Yeah,
now.
there it is. That'll make it a little bit harder to bring this Bear down. A bit more tanky, and still obviously susceptible to the damage from Fear, but we'll see how things do turn out. Sumail mid, he's actually going toe-to-toe with S4 right now, and here
He
comes
has arrow.
He's gonna come through and he's gonna hit him. He walked into it. S4. Oh, he walked into the arrow. Oh my. S4. What an uncharacteristic mistake to go down like that against Sumail.
He had plenty of time. He knew it was likely coming. Muranas generally are not going to Starstorm at that stage. Just an individual misplay. And now EG, honestly, like, Alliance win that lane passively because they have the Lich. All they have to do is just deny creeps and they're going to win. But now maybe not the case as PPD. He makes his first smoke rotation mod.
Where's
What's
he
he going
headed?
to find?
He was deciding where to go. Maybe just get another, I guess he's just going to go for another camp at this point. There's no real wards here for the Dire, so even if he doesn't have that smoke, he can still rotate up to the top lane and try to find a kill. For me, vision-wise right now, there's one I think there's one ward. He's currently sitting in the mid lane, and then there's another ward down bottom, close to that small camp for Alliance at this point in time. So there's not that much vision up top. We'll wait and see what rotation he makes. He's bringing down a camp currently with his, of course, Dark Troll Summoner. He could have brought Mud Golem with, of course, the 125 damage Boulder Toss, but that's not the case.
You love emphasizing the damage on the Boulder Toss.
It's a lot of damage. I mean, listen, 125 is a lot of damage at like 3 minutes into the game. You have like 4 of them. It's really good, but he's found Ake instead.
Speaking of damage,
he's got the pendant. The Earth Spike will come out, and that's more than enough. The amplified damage coming out from his Q ability is actually ridiculous. Now the bear might fall with the frost arrows. He's going to try to get away. It looks like he just might. He might hex for Earth Spike. There's the hex. Earth Spike might be next. They're diving the tower for this, and they'll get it. Zai will take tower hits. There's no Ignite to follow up from EGM, and that's a 300 gold bounty going the way.
And Sumail finds a solo kill again in the mid lane. Alliance just getting outplayed. That's all you can really say about this. It's little things and then it's big plays from EG. No stout shield on the bear to start the game. Sumail finding a kill that he never should have. S4 just getting a bit overconfident, playing way too aggressively when he could just win the lane passively by letting the Lich deny creeps. And then the rotation top lane, that's a great move by PPD. Alliance not having vision there. But the lack of early stout shield leads to the bear being lower HP. They didn't have the resummon. He ends up giving up a kill on it. That's 300 gold. That's a lot to be giving up this early.
And so EG, we've seen Drow strats before, and when they do get the ability to, of course, just snowball out of control in the laning phase, they often are able to secure the mid to late game, and not even that. Usually it's, the game lasts anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, and that might be the case this time. I do want to say, though, that there is a great bottom lane matchup for Admiral Bulldog. As you talked about, Bulldog's doing a great job. Even with Firefly up that Universe just used, he doesn't have the movement speed to be able to kill these Broodlings when they're in, of course, the webs, not without any detection anyways. And so he has to pick up the Tranquils. He might think about heading to the jungle instead. We'll see if he heads back down to the bottom. It looks like it will be the case. His Zai is rotated up as well with Dust. Let's see if they can find a kill on this Broodmother.
Yeah, he got his Tranquil Boots off that bear kill. I believe it was Zai that got the last hit. So allows him to move around a lot more confidently. Sumail marches in mid. S4 has no boots. This lane's over.
This damage.
2 solo kills for Sumail, and what do you really do at this point? You're down 1,000 gold.
The damage is starting to get ridiculous. I mean, he's got way more than his war. Yeah, that's the thing, is the damage from the Drow is really helping him out in this lane. At the beginning of the game, because the Lich was there, because he didn't have as much damage, it was going okay. But now, with that death, and oh no, look at this bottom lane. All of these Broodlings might go down to the Firefly from Universe. It's going to be so much gold going their way if they can get it. And it looks like most of them will end up falling.
You see the dust on the lion, and your natural thought is, oh, he's going to be ganking the Broodmother. Wrong, he's ganking the Spiderlings.
He wants that gold.
But that's a hero kill's worth of gold.
Like, he was sitting at like 20 last hits, he's at 35 now because of the Broodlings. And yeah, it's not as much gold, obviously, as a regular last hit, but still, it's some decent farm going the way of the Batrider. And Fear is about to get the bear kill again, 10 HP, but no, Loden denies it nicely. He does have a resummon, he's currently out of mana to use it, however.
Dire's middle tower
this bear is
under
getting
attack.
completely hounded. It adds up not starting with that stout shield, and with PPD's rotation, this top lane begins to spiral out of control. So the question becomes, what does Alliance do to adapt at this point? Another arrow coming in mid. S4 will dodge that. The issue for me is the one hero that can move around and make plays for them is the Puck, and the Puck is the one that's having the worst time of all of them as far as like what he should be doing. He has Frost Armor, he has Lich Denies. Even with the Drow Aura, Mirana should not win that lane that hard normally.
They're really trying to get top right now, but a great TP out coming from EGM. realizing something was coming, and they will not find this gank. I do want to talk about the Lich pickup is because we talk about roaming supports and roaming heroes in general, and obviously you have the Ogre Magi, but Lich really has to kind of just sit in one lane and help and try to maybe throw out a Frost Blast, but at this point he really can't rotate to help top. Maybe throw up the Ice Armor if he was up there, but he's not. He can't TP up, and they will lose this Tier 1 tower at the first of the game, and it's a very important one at that. The opposing team's Tier 1 tower. Sumail gets another kill onto the Lich. Getting an arrow perhaps, or just the Starstorm might have been enough.
Didn't even need the arrow. Alright, well, this lane's over.
That's insane. Sumail is now by far and away your net worth leader, up to 3,800. And that's pretty impressive considering he was dueling against for the first couple of minutes.
Once you get behind a Mirana, you have such a difficult time catching up. She gets that quick level 7, has the double Starstorm with phase boots, and Lich is basically a solo kill without even really needing to hit an arrow. You can just run him down with auto attacks. Puck is level 6 now. No mana for the coil. He's going to go back to base. Alliance probably have to move around the Puck. But as soon as the Puck moves, EG's just going to call that. He won't be visible mid, and they can just back off and farm. I think they're in a bind now, Mod. I'm really scrambling to figure out what they can do. Rotating Broodmother isn't going to be effective. Bulldog's not nearly farmed enough. Generally, he likes to go Midas, Echo Saber, Deso. Go for more of like a heavy DPS Broodmother, but I also want to point out Universe even got the tower deny mid, so everything rolling EG's way right now. The Chen Hand of God is coming online soon. They're going to hit a very strong timing, and I think it's where Alliance have to find some smoke ganks and pickoffs, but in the head-on fight, they're going to struggle mightily.
And the thing is, they don't really want to bring the Broodmother to one of those smoke ganks either. He's going to want to try to just sit bottom, continue to push that Tier 2 tower at this point. Like you said, the deny already came up to Tier 1. He has picked up a Sage's Master. There's a good chance it is going to be the beginnings of an Oblivion Staff, which then means, more than likely, an Echo Saber going the way of Bulldog, as that is his build that he likes to run. Now mid lane, there's the Hexabot is caught. Earthspike will follow, Starstorm, 2 hits. And Sumail backs away before even completing the kill. They just know that he's dead with the Starstorm proccing the way that it had. Easy kill for Sumail.
A sign of how rough this is that Lich is the lowest level support in the game.
Better help Dire's middle tower.
Lich should probably be the highest level support in the game.
Looks like Dire fortified their structure.
Normally, just denying creeps and not dying, you'll be level 7.
Oh, they found the bear. Again, the bear will fall.
Alright, this bear is useless. I don't know what he can do at this point.
Loda has not done nearly enough farm either.
Can't get the tower denied. That goes to PPD. That's going to be an early mech for EG. Likely a quick Ags for Sumail. Blink is on the way for Universe. Doesn't seem like he's saving for the drums. Or going for the drums. S4 needs to make plays. The guy who had the roughest start out of everyone on Alliance, that is the one hero that can get them back in this game. Bulldog will go Midas. He needs even more time before he can be an impact hero. As rough as it sounds, it's really all on S4.
Yeah, S4, and he had an Invis rune. I thought he was going to make something happen, and it's so... Anytime S4 gets one of those crazy runes, you get worried. He's going to walk into an Invis rune or a Sentry, as you see, and he's going to get caught. His eye is going to scout him out, but he's going to stay around it as well, but no one's rotating over to try to find it. It looks like they'll just back up, and EG will not be... You know, they're not going to push their luck at this point. They're just going to farm and continue to get everything they need, including Sumail, who's went phase boots, has picked up also a point booster. So he went for some early game items that you don't usually see with the Aghanim set from Mirana.
I'm crushing my lane. I want to continue crushing it, and I'll catch up as far as the Aghanim's rush goes just by getting additional kills. There's another move mid. Sumail setting up. Not going to make the actual go, but let's protect the old man. So EG, I think what they're waiting for at this point, it's Blink on Universe, it's Mech on PPD, it's the what the name is escaping me right now. Sorry, the Dragon Lance on the Drow and the Aghanims on Mirana. They get all those items. Maybe a Blink on the Lion is kind of a nice bonus. They will just constantly be running at Alliance, finding ganks, pushing towers, looking to take Roshan. They will roll from objective to objective. The thing for Alliance is they don't have really the best defensive lineup. They don't clear waves that easily. You mentioned a Puck Veil. It's a great pickup with an eventual Lone Druid Radiance, but it's going to be very late with the start he's had.
Yeah, he only has currently Treads and the one Null Tally. Still, Sumail, or excuse me, S4 is not that far behind. I mean, yes, in comparison to the Murata, he is pretty far behind, but the rest of the squad, he can start getting up there if he just gets a few kills. The bounties are going to be a lot of gold going the way of Alliance if they can find these pickoffs. Right now, Broodmother's on the backside, maybe looking for a backstep, as everyone with the exception of the Lone Druid is coming in, and the arrow is now going to 80 PM.
S4 smoked up though.
Dive behind, they get off that lasso. There's the Dream Pull onto 2, beautifully done. Still no follow-up damage. The chainsaw will bounce through. Isn't enough damage though, LD.
They're going for the TP out. They can't let him get away. They will find the kill. Looking for more. Chasing onto Sumail. Leap on cooldown for 8 seconds. He does hit the orb. He's got a silence in 3. Sumail with the double Starstorm. Is he going to get the kill? No. It's S4 to the rescue. Gets both cores, holds the tower, and salvages the game. In fact, they did that without the Lone Druid. Loda got his Midas. He's farming top lane. And just like that, the guy who got dumped on the hardest in the laning stage puts Alliance right back in the game.
That is just one of those S4 plays that you sometimes expect him to make, honestly. He just comes out of nowhere and suddenly he evens up the game for you, having a two-man Dream Coil, and they get off plenty of damage coming through with the help of Bulldog being there in that fight. Yeah, sure, they lost the Ogre matchup, but that doesn't matter at all. The Chain Frost was great as well.
I almost feel like EGM wanted that arrow to hit him. He's like, this is how we bait EG, and I'm just so tempting.
Walks into the arrow.
It's a big hunk of meat to take down the Ogre, and that's the thing is, even with the arrow, it takes a while to kill that hero, so it gave them time to wrap around and set up, but that was the fight that Alliance needed. Now, Broodmother has time. They are running double Midas. They will get probably a couple minutes of breathing room off of that. They also will delay EG's timings. The mech, I think, coming out for PPD. No, just the buckler still needs the recipe, but it will slow things down.
And that's what they need to do. Alliance, they have the late game, they have the Lone Druid, they have the Broodmother. They have potential. Batrider has the Blink Dagger now, though, and of course, they still have some good farm, but if you look at the top net worth right now, 3 of the top 4 are going in the way of Alliance. The Broodmother at the top of that list, and that's not surprising considering the start that he had. He now has a Midas, he has his Oblivion Staff, the Echo Saber is not far behind. And Sumail is starting to, well, he had a great start, but now he's starting to slow down a little bit. And even Fear, he needs to finish up that Dragonlance, is still not there yet. And he'll have to go to Ancients in order to complete it at this point in time.
I'm interested to see how the Broodmother fits into the Alliance game plan moving forward. Theoretically, this hero is very difficult to run away from in fights. So if Bulldog gets to that point where he's got BKB, Desolator, sometimes we even see Blink Dagger on Broodmother, and he jumps on the Drow, like, they're gonna have to lasso and try to focus him, and then the Bear just runs in and gets to do whatever he wants. But in theory, I think Brood is a pretty good hero to stick on a Drow in team fights if you're fighting around your webs.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough for the Drow to see.
Not to mention the incapacitating bite, very annoying for any right-click hero, especially a Drow.
Yep.
With the slow as well.
So you pretty much have to be very diligent with protection. God, they really want to keep... Nope, there's the last coming into the universe. Now has 4 caught out Finger, they blow him up. It's just that quick. The drive-by gank from EG as they come in, they get it done. I thought the Hand of God might have been wasted. They were using it as well in conjunction with that gank, which was very interesting, and it was successful.
Did not spend his gold, so S4. I think he was saving for the blink there.
Yeah,
if he wants the Veil, he could have bought components by now. That will delay it.
That's a huge pickup that gives them some free time to try to poke at this tier 2 tower, but with no Drow Ranger up there at this point in time, there's, I don't think, any way they try to take that at this point. Fear has finished up his Dragonlance. He's now got 2 Wraith Bands, a set of Treads, and the Dragonlance to top it all off, but he's gonna get out farm pretty soon as this Lone Druid finishes up his Radiance. He's got that Midas that you had talked about. He's gonna have more pretty soon.
They have a lasso on 30, so some opportunity here for S4 to farm. It looks like Alliance just really want to get the blink, and then they will make a smoke play. In fact,
they're going to do it
now. They won't even wait for the blink.
That's great.
They're already on the move.
They want to get something done. They know that if they let this continue on for EG, they can still take towers. They can still, of course, take fights. EG cannon.
Hello,
they might
Zai.
find Zai, yeah. That Observer Ward, he's about to walk right into it, and he's probably dead. That's it. Yeah, lose your orb. And plenty of damage from the Fire Blast.
We'll see. They even commit a foil for that. That is heavy investment. I think Ogre was going to be in range for an Ignite, and then likely they get the kill without it, but S4 didn't want to risk his teammate getting stunned and them getting out. Just really wants to secure the blink. Now he has
Shadow
it.
bottom lane, they're going to look for something here, and Bulldog is in the tree line.
Good positioning by
I
Bulldog.
think they think he's in the jungle right now, but in fact he is down and TPing towards his own tier 2 tower. He is out. He won't find anything with this Moonlight Shadow. They were close, but it's not going to matter. As it looks like Universe is still in biz with the smoke, and he's going to try to find something with his Firefly. But
really good map awareness there by Bulldog. But I think it still shows you something about the matchup that we've gotten past the laning stage. We head towards the mid game. Bulldog is the most farmed hero. And I know this is something PCD has actually talked about in the past when he's cast at the Summit and other events, is that he really feels like Broodmother isn't that big of a deal, because even if she has a good start, you can just punish, like, that Brood gets ahead with the rubber band mechanic being what it is. You just keep on ganking her in the mid game, and as long as you're able to kill her, you will come back and punish her for being ahead. Somewhat like an Alchemist pick. We saw that in the LGD EG series earlier today, where the Alch got really far ahead and then was just feeding enormous amounts of gold back to LGD. So Bulldog always has to worry about that Moonlight Shadow initiation, as there is a lasso top.
They're going to bring EGM down to the low ground. They're going to get the Earth Spike off. The Fire Blast does go on to Universe, but the Flame Break pushes him even forward. The Starstorm is going to follow up and secure that kill. So it's a nice pick off, which again, a lasso expended for just one of those kills for one of the supports. But again, a kill is a kill, and it actually, I think with Sumail being involved, he's finished up his Aghanim Scepter because of it.
Yeah, Brood at this point, those Spiderlings could quickly become food for the likes of EG.
Yes, that is, oh my. The Aghanim Scepter Starstorm is going to be one of the best possible things to have in this situation against the Bulldog, Broodmother, and Broodlings. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if they try to go for bottom again. But for now, it's again just keep fear farming and see if they can maybe group up and try to take some towers down, especially now that the mech is flying out as well, I believe.